where you drank way too much, which was probably both of those to begin with, but I didn't want that in the video. So
We
I
are.
know that looks
Oh shit!
way better.
We are live. I just have to get my iPad.
Oh, come on.
What happened?
I just let's see. There we go. Okay, so I don't know. This camera's like finicky. Like every once in a while, when you mess, and maybe it's my USB port because this camera is also a Dell, so therefore it's shitty. Unless Dell's sponsoring us, therefore it's 100% me.
Yeah,
But
they're sponsoring us. Take that back.
well, I know who's not sponsoring us, Android. So
What's this? I don't even know what this is here. Oh no, let's get that out of here. All right. I gotta say, there's nothing more persistent than YouTube trying to get you to sign up for their stuff. Every single time you open up YouTube, it's right there.
every time I log in so Grace can watch Blippi. Do you sure you want to sign up for YouTube Pro or YouTube Live TV? Absolutely not. I would have signed up for it the last 50,000 times.
Yeah, it's every time.
Them and there's one other software where every time I log into it, it wants me to upgrade. I can't remember which one it is. It's another stream. It's one of the streaming things. I can't remember for the life of me what it is now.
Let me just blast out all these links, and then we're good to go. What's up, Jen? What's up, Roxanne? Welcome.
Woo!
You guys, if I know I talked with Jen a little bit, but Roxanne, if you want to give your initial thoughts. I haven't heard much, what's the word? Pushback on this episode. I have some major problems with this episode that we'll talk about. Much.
Ooh, okay.
What's
I again fell asleep half through it.
You you did or you didn't?
I did.
Oh.
I think shout out to Jen though, because the 11 o'clock I was like, yes, it works. 11:01, I was hitting it. I was like, finally, like this is gonna be great. I was like, the kid's asleep, Meg's asleep. I'm ready. Let's get into it. Got halfway into it, and woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I fell asleep only because my baby just did not want to sleep last night.
Well, I'm just from doing everything with the house. I'm exhausted, so I blame most of it on that. Because I rewatched it again today, and I was like, okay, it wasn't nearly as slow as last episode, but still.
See, and I watched this episode, and so I've watched the past few episodes with Marissa, but this episode she was awake, like she was like, usually she's like dead tired by the time we do it, and she like twice, if I had Dexter voiceover, she said literally what I was thinking, and we'll get to exactly what it is, but I'm a little scared about where this season's headed, and you know, obviously we'll talk about it. But
yeah, I don't want to do too much yet.
Yeah,
I'm curious where your thoughts are going, because I have a couple of like, we'll get into it.
Yeah. Just trying to see here, and does shift bring this down? Yes, it does. All right, we should be all there.
I will say, this season of the Great British Bake Off has held my attention more.
I mean,
it's been a good season though.
That's a great show.
It's been a really good season.
I don't watch it. I was just
that. Oh, it's if you do, man. Oh, this has been a really good season. They have some really good bakers on this season. Like, holy shit, they're good. Making some delicious pastries, things I've never heard of.
Can never get into cooking shows, man. Never.
Oh, I love cooking shows. Shout out Alton Brown, one of my favorite guys.
Sponsor.
He watches the podcast.
Yeah. He's a sponsor. Oh God, this is why we never get sponsored.
No.
No, I have not watched Ted Lasso yet, Roxanne. I'm still trying. Narcos is one of my favorite shows, and just because life and the way it is, we're only up to episode 4, and that came out like 2 weeks ago. So I'm like just so slow on everything.
Ted Lasso's good. Man, feel good. Feel good. I strive to be the dad that Ted Lasso is.
What's up, Slip? All right, you want to go live? Well, want to start recording?
Yeah. Let's go.
All right. Hold on. All right. All right. This is Victor, and now that he's out of the blind spot of the heat-seeking cameras, I'm joined by Colton. Colton, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. One of my favorite holidays, actually.
I feel like, I was going to say, I feel like this is like the 5th time we've done this, but Thanksgiving-wise, anything you're thankful for, I guess, besides the usual?
Well, this year I have a lot to be thankful for. The big ones is we have the unexpected pleasure of a second daughter coming, so that's going to be amazing. And then, so I'll be dead to the world for the next 18 years. That'll be fun. And then we are still in the process. We purchased a house. We're in the process of getting that fixed up and moving into the house. That has been the biggest pain in the ass ever, is going through this whole process, because we're also going to get our condo that we live in. I purchased it like several years ago, and we're wanting to turn it into rental property. So
awesome.
Slumlord Colton, here I come.
Well, I guess to quote one of the Dexter's favorite, just listening to you and what you were thankful for.
Where no one said they were thankful for me.
So that brings the obvious, and it's the time of the year, so it's allowed. It's we're usually capped by the FCC, and we're not allowed to curse. But since it is Thanksgiving,
Shut up, cunt.
It's coming back for this episode. So
it better be used and be used the entire time during this.
Shut up, cunt.
Here we go. I'm gonna do sip every time.
I feel a little bad because you were like, actually, you had like stuff to be thankful for, and it was all just to set up, just to do that.
For that. It's my life.
Oh god.
Just a giant setup for the punchline.
So we are here to discuss episode 3 of New Blood, Smoke Signals. I don't know why I said H is for Heroes was the next episode. So quick thoughts, your take on this episode, if you'd enjoyed it, and I guess how you would rank it versus the previous 2.
It's good. It's like I said, I did fall asleep the first time I was watching it, but I don't want to put that into too much again, because I was really tired. I need to stop trying to do it at midnight. I watched it, like I was really focused, watched it today, and it's good. It's another one. It's kind of slow. It's of the 3 episodes so far, I'm ranking it the worst of the 3. But I say that because it feels weird saying it's the worst, because it's still better than all of last season. So it's like a rough thing. Like it's not the best I've ever seen. It's average Dexter at the averagest. I guess I'll say that.
Yeah, at the averagest. Is that a word? Averagest?
Yeah, I probably not.
It is the most medium of the mediumist. I enjoyed the episode. There was just like 2 or 3 things that had me going to like, ooh, are we back in really bad plot hole territory? And this episode I got to watch with Marissa, as we were saying before we started airing. And so I asked her, I kind of like check myself, because I don't know if this podcast is enjoyable if I am just sitting here nitpicking the shit out of stuff, especially stuff that doesn't matter. And there were a few things this episode where I was like, huh. And there's one big one that I'm just like, well, what was the point of that? But I guess we could just get into it. and actually
did actually
talk
have a
about the
couple
episode.
I was gonna say I actually have a couple nitpicks on this, which I felt bad about, but I was like, I have to point these out. Like, yeah. Anyways, yeah. Let's get in. Yeah.
So our episode starts out from the day after the previous episode, and they're still searching for Matt Caldwell, and we have Harrison signing up for school. I think, I mean, I'm the dumbest coincidence in the world, but did you catch the principal's name?
No, I didn't.
Principal Strode. And in one of the drawings that Ethan did, someone's wearing a Halloween shirt. I'm pretty sure. Strode, do you know Laurie Strode from Halloween? That's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
like, am I supposed to know that name? Oh, okay.
It's Strode is like a pretty. You're picking that for a reason. You know, I think the same way that kids' name are Zach and Scott and everything. I guess, and again, I kind of did like free version of notes because there's other stuff I want to talk about in the episode. But I guess the only thing I want to comment here was repeating myself from last episode. I love like Deb. One scene it's the principal, and then the next it's Deb, and she's dressed the same. Like, yeah, you're not gonna leave him again, are you? So last episode we were talking about how I guess we were nitpicking, like, why doesn't Harrison have an accent?
Yeah. And I actually have it in my notes in here. Now, I don't speak Spanish, but I thought it was cool that they had him speaking Spanish. I don't know if it was good or not. The average listener is not going to know if it's good or not, right? You know, your average non-Spanish speaking listener, at least. But I thought it was cool they added that little touch in.
Yes, and then I realized too, like, he moved there when he was like, what did we say he was, 5 or 6 when he moved there? So he already is like speaking and not having the, you know, he may have like he should know how to speak, I guess, Spanish, but yeah, I guess we were overlooking the idea that he was already speaking when he moved there. You know what I mean? So he kind of already was developed, so to say.
I guess the only reason I still think he would have somewhat of an accent is I have a friend of mine who moved to America. She's from Scotland, and she moved to America when she was, now, granted, she was a little older than 5. I think she was 7, and she still has a somewhat significant Scottish accent.
Mm-hmm.
But granted, Scotland, they speak English, but it's their version of English, and then us. So I guess it's not exactly the same thing, but she has a pretty prominent like accent. So that's why I was kind of a little surprised. I guess he doesn't, but I'm no linguistics expert. So.
So there's a quote unquote break in the case, and what we find out is that there's heat-seeking cameras in the woods. Cool development. And the only thing that is starting to tickle my start complaining about Dexter is, do you know what I'm about to say? Because they make it pretty apparent, like, why. They say there's a blind spot.
I'm going to let you.
There's a blind spot. Yeah, okay. You know, they caught everything from Matt, you know, and they have this other part of the woods that was covered, but like where the actual interaction happened was there's a bunch of blind spots in the woods, which sort of frees up the idea of like seeing Dexter actually happen with it. I don't like it. I guess that's like the best I could say is like, why are we so what's the word I'm looking? Let me ask you, do you have a problem with this at all? Is this anything that caught your
100%.
mind? Oh, okay.
No. I have 4. I actually had 3. I had 3 nitpick the shit out of this scene. Like I actually have 3 really big, like, what, and I'm not even like, it's the same as you, because 2 of them I'm like, you added this in just to give Dexter a now, but to also develop and move the storyline forward. So yeah,
I just didn't love that they were just immediately like, there's a blind spot. Like maybe you could have toyed with that more. You know, where that footage is there, or anything, whatever. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe that's why I'm not a writer. I'm just someone who complains about the writing, but like it just feels so cheap. It's like, oh my God, we have him, and then no, we don't. which is kind of how the show Dexter always is. You know, even when he gets there, Angela does like a Dexter, come here, I need to talk to you, and then you know the camera slows on Dexter and everything. And I mean,
Right.
if we're watching episode 99, and we know he didn't get caught. They don't have him on camera doing it, but it's more so it's from Dexter's point of view, so I could see why. It just made me groan. It just kind of like, man, we're trying to wash away everything from the 8 seasons, and this just brought me back to like, ooh, that's the Dexter I remember. You know.
Well, okay, so no, and that's exactly what it is. And I kind of have the same thing. Like, one, I wanted to point out Angela, especially when she says Dexter, come here, total Deb moment. Like, she looks kind of like Deb, and she kind of acts like Deb. I'm really getting the weird, like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
You know
Like,
what? You know what?
She's really.
I want to stop you there because that's something we haven't talked about. They are invoking Deb here. I mean, she's not foul mouthed.
Yes.
She's not
No.
crass like Deb, but like her.
She's got the stern, like, I'm this law enforcement level, and you're gonna like listen, and I know how to talk with like a stern, direct voice, a power of authority, or whatever you want to call it, right? And Deb had the same thing, but she also, like, the way her hair is, it's similar to Deb's, right? Like, not just with it being black and dark haired and stuff like that, the same part and stuff like that. They have this similar same build. Now, I don't know if they intentionally did that or it just so happens to be that way, but she really reminds me of Deb.
At the very least, I think they were trying to have us as the viewers get reminded that it could, not that it could be Deb, but it resembles Deb.
Yes.
I'm glad we agree on that. I think in the trailer, when we were discussing the trailer they released, I was like, oh, because the way she had the hat on, I was like, oh, that kind of girl kind of looks like Deb. And we both were like, oh, we don't know enough, so obviously. But, and then, I mean,
Yeah.
there's even the scene right in the bathroom where Deb pops up again. She's wearing Angela's uniform, you know?
Yeah.
So that just further
Complicates the issue, I
Right.
guess is what I will say.
or gives us, you know, the proof that we need, you know.
Right.
Go
Now,
ahead.
where I did want to nitpick on this though is, one, they apparently have these heat cameras in the woods for some reason to track animals. Now, I'm not a zoologist, but I mean, I've done my fair share of hunting and stuff like that, and I've never heard of heat vision cameras being used out into like track animals. There's night, they do have night, they have infrared and stuff like that. I'm not saying they're not out there, because I'm sure they are, but it just seemed a little unusual for that. I was like, there's so many other things that they could have used. Like, I guess I just don't understand the purpose of heat vision. Like, why is it? That's me kind of nitpicking a little bit. Like, why is he doing this? And then I'm like, oh, so they can obscure his. Not only that. Wait, what? I can't hear you. Oh no. I can't hear you. Testing, testing, test. Okay. I'm I'm showing on Zencaster.
No, you're good.
If you can hear me, I'm showing on Zencaster,
I'm not.
but I'm not
I'm
seeing
not,
any
yeah,
markings for
yeah.
you.
Fuck. Hello.
I can't hear nothing, man. I'm sorry. I can
No,
see your
that's-
lips,
that's
but
not-
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Colton? Hello? Can you hear me? No? Hello?
If you can say yes or no, are you going to send me a new link for Zencaster, or do I click on the old link?
Can you hear me now?
Oh wait,
There we go.
yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened.
That's so weird.
Is my Zoom frozen too?
No, your Zoom isn't. You sound different. You sound more clear now.
This sucks balls.
Earlier, I just didn't say anything because I thought like it was. Wait, yeah, I didn't say anything, but it sounded more like you were on your computer microphone and not your USB microphone.
Yeah, I don't know. Something's happening
Your video,
with. Yeah,
your video footage is very blurry though.
yeah. I don't know. It's freezing. What the hell? Why is it every week?
Welcome
Shut
to
up,
the
cunt.
21st century. Hey, if you sponsor my tickets, I'll just fly there every Sunday and I'll take a red eye back. You can afford that, right? We'll get a sponsorship of Southwest.
Our videos are frozen for some reason. I'm gonna Zoom is not responding. All right, oh god, this is so annoying. Okay, I'm just gonna shut down Zoom and then reopen. I'll send you another link.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right. Now keep.
I guess we
going,
could
right?
still talk. Yeah. Leave it open. We could just add another recording.
All right. So then, what I was talking about earlier, when they are out, no, I'm just kidding.
Hold on. Hey, and you know what? Let's go to Audacity, please,
Oh yes.
because I don't know what the hell. Let me double check my Zoom again. Zoom is not responding for some reason. This is awesome. I love this. There's honestly nothing that makes me happier than when I'm trying to. Okay. New meeting.
And I'd say, fuck it, we'll do it live, but we're trying to do it live. Update now? No, I will update this later.
Yeah, please don't. Fail to detect your speaker. All right. No. All right, I'm going to send you.
Testing 1 2, testing 1. Okay. Sorry, I was just testing my Audacity to make sure it's working. It is.
I'm sending you the Zoom link. This is so freaking annoying.
Shut up, cunt. Shut up, cunt. Shut up, cunt.
That's how I feel right now.
Shut up, cunt. Shut up, cunt.
God damn it.
It keeps trying to get me to update my Zoom. Apparently, there's an update available, but I don't want to do that until after we've recorded, because God forbid I do an update and it's like, it'll take 4 hours.
Every week, man. Every week.
Shut up, cunt.
God damn it.
Shut up, cunt.
I'm serious. This is every time. Shut up, cunt. Shut up.
Listen,
Shut up.
listen, this is what I'm doing. I'm so mad. Like slamming my little index finger into the left clicker on my mouse, because that's how mad I am, and I press it harder every time, and I just go, "Urgh!"
Shut up, cunt.
Did you ever get so mad as a kid that when you had an NES, right?
Yeah.
Did you have an NES as a kid?
Yeah.
Okay, I would get so fucking mad when I was playing Mario because you couldn't save it, right? And you'd sit there and you'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm further than I've ever been in my entire life." And then you'd fucking fall down the thing because you do the wrong thing. I'd sit there and I'd take that little fucking square rectangle controller and I twist it so hard it would dig into my hand, and I'd get so mad. I'd be like, "Ah!" Just screaming at it. I feel like that's what you're doing. Like, it's not helping. It's just making it worse. But you just
Shut up, cunt. Shut up, cunt. Shut up.
Tapping it so hard. And for whatever, God. All right. Let's. I gotta make sure my Audacity is working. Hold on. Is my Audacity? Ooh. Yeah. Okay. It is. Let me make sure. Hello. Ooh. There we go. That's better. All right. All right. I have no idea where we were.
Are we even live? Like, are we? Can
Yes,
people hear us right now?
Everyone could hear us. They're all laughing at me.
Okay.
Um.
Um.
Okay.
Oh
hold
wait,
on.
do you want me to get Audacity started? Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, do you want me to get Audacity started? And
You know what? Let's hold on. We got some shit in the chat that we guess we don't Okay. Yeah. No,
I mean, I remember where I was at because I was in the middle of talking about a nitpick on it, and so I
Okay.
remember exactly where I was at.
Okay. Let's start recording in the count of 3 if
Audacity.
you're ready.
Yep,
1, 2, 3. All right.
I'm live.
I'm live too. All right. So just go on with whatever you were saying.
Okay, so my only what I was talking about with the nitpick is so again to kind of just get myself where I was at as well. Is as far as I know of, I mean, I'm not saying it's not out there. They don't really use heat vision when it comes to animal tracking and stuff like that. It just doesn't really make any sense. Second off, okay, I get it. Plot point, because you can't see his face, you can't make it out, right? There's the out for Dexter. We know there's a figure and stuff like that. Now, maybe I'm getting too much into this nitpick on this one, but I really don't give a shit on it. Is you're gonna ask Dexter, is that the gun that you sold to I can't think of his name. Fuck. The son, the guy he kills,
Matt.
the guy Dexter killed, Matt. They're like, is this the gun that you sold, Matt? And he like looks at this heat vision camera. Now you've played Call of Duty and there's heat vision. Can you tell what fucking gun is in heat vision? And then not only that, they then ask him, well, the other person who it's Dexter with a gun behind his back, you literally can see the barrel and that's it on heat vision, which makes no sense because that barrel would be blue because he hasn't shot at any. It's metal that should be blue. It's not hot. He's like, oh, that's a Winchester 700. How the fuck can you tell that by that little tiny line? I'm nitpicking on that one a little bit. I get it, or probably a lot, but it was just too much of a like, let's move the story forward. But Dexter's kind of getting away. I do this nitpick though because I'm about to compliment the fuck out of that police department. So, okay, now I'm done.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you then. Where's the compliment then?
My compliment on this is I feel like this is one, the CSI guy they get is amazing. Okay, better than Masuka ever has been in his entire life.
Okay, so let's stop there then, because that's what I want to discuss that.
Oh, okay, cool.
So they bring in a CSI guy because they think there's something that happened. His name's
Adrian?
Damien.
I have it. Damien.
So they bring him and they sort of
D.
What'd you say?
D. Damien Dexter.
D?
You can't You can't tell me there wasn't something they could have named him any other name. It didn't have to start with a D. I'm just saying.
Come on. So this guy comes in and they make him to look, fumbling, bumbling, little like ditzy and everything.
When he's holding the box and it falls, he's just, God damn it. I died laughing, dude. The guy's comedy good. He's good.
So let me ask you something. So he goes to the crime scene and he does the thing that Dexter used to do back in the Miami days, where he just looks at the blood and he just looks at everything and then he just tells you exactly what happened.
There must be a class that you can take for that.
I mean, it's literally what exactly happened. It was so on the nose. I was waiting for Dexter. I was waiting for Dexter to be like, someone be like, "Hello, Dexter," like he was daydreaming it because of how perfect this was. That didn't vibe with you at all? Like it was just so on the nose of exactly what happened.
I think the reason it didn't vibe with me on it is because I have it in my notes. I feel like they're trying to make this police department that much better than Miami. Like this is potentially like, oh shit, like because he makes a comment about it, like I'm gonna get brought down by them,
right?
And I think that's the only reason I'm not nitpicking him doing that, other than maybe he's the version of Dexter in Albany, New York. Do we know if there's not a serial killer killing off a bunch of?
Does
he have a code? He was raised by Howard, his stepfather.
Howard.
Sorry.
It just bothered me how this guy was able to tell the whole scene, and I guess that's a thing in the show because Dexter used to do it all the time, and it was just accepted. So I guess that's on.
Like I said, I'm taking it as they're trying their best to show this is a better police department,
more
even though
competent.
they're the small, more competent. Even though they're small, they're not Miami. Like Miami has all this big budget, they're big city and stuff like that. This is a small town department. I mean, his girl Angela is already shown that she's really good, like that she's actually like a legitimately good cop. Even her part, like the people that work for you. Okay, well, there's the one dumbass who with the drone and stuff like that. Yeah, he's kind of like the comedy relief or whatever. But then you have the other guy, and this is the sad part is I can't remember their names right now. That's like kind of interrogating Dexter at one point.
Logan.
He's not bad. Logan, he's not bad. Like he actually, it seems like he's kind of doing, but then at the same time, he's like, well, we're done. Never mind.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, you actually were like kind of making some good points, but
right.
I don't know.
After Angela announces that they're going to get search dogs, we get another Deb scene. And I love how aggressive / torturous Deb is towards Dexter, because this is a scene we kind of talked about already where she's like in the bathroom with him, just that like close quarters confinement, and like she just fucking pulls a gun to his neck, and that's when she's in Angela's police uniform. I again, if you're gonna have this tortured soul, it should be played like this. Like, I think, to me, Deb is by far, after this episode and like my background, which we'll get to, I think Deb is the best part of these 3 episodes thus far.
Oh, easily.
I think she's like
easily
she
my
just,
favorite. Yeah,
she just shows up, does her scene, and like leaves with everything. So with
Jennifer Carpenter loved this entire show because she's like, I could have been doing this whole time. Like,
yeah, that's true, right? Like I could have been acting like a fucking lunatic and torture. Yeah. So we have the search dogs coming, and Dexter. I correct me where I'm wrong. He digs up Matt's body to get the vest he was wearing of the scent, and he goes around all of the woods and spreads his scent around. So it kind of leaves the search dogs in a clusterfuck of sorts. But we just found out that there were heat-seeking cameras a few scenes ago.
I actually have that in my notes. Like he went back knowing that there was cameras. And did they take the cameras down? Maybe.
I mean, I don't think. Like, I don't think. I don't. If they did, they didn't say it. It's just. It's just.
Maybe they moved them to other areas, and they're like, "Huh, there's another. Here's our heat-seeking silhouette
where the other blind spots aren't." It just had me like. It just had me like, hey, you guys just said this and you showed us it, and now Dexter's. It's funny watching him trying to spread the, it's a.
Yeah, because they have this unguarded crime scene, but there's tape. No one will cross that tape. Nobody would dare cross that. Like it does. I don't know.
This is what I mean. It's little things here and there that I'm like, oh god. Or so Marissa brought up this good point. Wait, should I save this here? I'll bring it up here. I'm running all of these. I ran them with Jen this morning, and I brought it up to Marissa. Like, am I being too nitpicky? So Marissa was like, you know what? You are a little, but I wonder if this show wasn't Dexter, if the show is actually like Jim Lindsay. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have 8 seasons of Dexter.
So this is a standalone show. Like we have, yes, right. This is its own show. This is just called New Blood.
Would we be as like nitpicky as we're being? Would some of this stuff just fly by me? I mean, who knows? Because we'll never know. But just something.
That's a good question, actually.
Little stuff that. So, something I want to. Let's get on the same page here. We get to this scene of the girl from the last episode, and she gets released, and we see while she's getting released, we have this man getting suited up for a kill. You know, almost like the same way Dexter does a kill. This guy's putting his kill suit on and whatnot. Are we in agreement of who this is?
Ooh. We going to do it like on 1, 2, 3?
Oh, that's good. All right. You count down.
I don't know. I don't know the person's name, but I'm going to. I'm horrible with names. You should know that by now. But I'm going to say who I think it is.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, all right. There's Olsen, the billionaire, and there's Kurt Caldwell, Clancy Brown. Is it someone else you think outside of that?
No.
Okay.
No, it's one of them.
Okay, so then you go on the
Okay.
count of 3 if we say it at the same time.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Olsen
Batista.
twins.
Oh, damn.
Damn it.
Wait, you think it's Olsen?
Yeah. Mary Kate.
Hold on. Do you know which one Olsen is?
Yeah, the billionaire, the one that he like comes up and with Angela's daughter, and he's like, "Be safe," and he does like the knife movement, and he's like, "Later."
All right. We need people in the chat to.
You think it's Kurt?
I know
No,
it's.
wait.
I know it's Kurt. Here's why. Here's my
Okay.
court of law.
I'm gonna blow your mind how I know it is.
blow me, baby. The drooping eyelids is one. The guy is
They both have those.
yes. Good point. Good point. Because I noticed on the second guy, the guy is husky. He's a big dude, and 2.
Fluffy jacket.
And then third and final, he has facial hair.
The watch.
What is that?
What? Rewatch it. He has a very specific watch on. Kurt doesn't have a watch that I noticed.
Are we about to have a bet here? Because I think it's
Ooh,
obvious.
ooh,
It's obvious.
Oh,
I am not.
I love that we're on a disagreement. Let's do a bet. Yes, I'm all for it. Let's do a bet.
I'm trying to think of what the bet could be.
I know.
I would say
I'm broke as shit. I don't want to do money.
I would say if I do it, we got to come up with it. But I think it's probably the easiest if it's Kurt, I get your house.
Okay. Oh fuck no. Meg's the main signer anyway, so good luck getting her to win that one. I had to. I was the second signer. Yeah. Because the condo, and all that extra money.
Everyone's saying
dick,
beer,
so.
but I owe Colton like an entire.
No, you don't. The post office does.
Whatever the size of Colton's house is, that's how much beer I owe him. We got to come up with something.
We can do like an Uber Eats or something like that. Like
I'm
I owe you. I'll
surprised.
buy you lunch. There we go. I will buy you. I will have lunch delivered. Your choice. Uber Eats to your job. I will do that. You don't have to give me your job's name on air and stuff like that. But we both live in areas with Uber Eats. Lunch. Let's do lunch.
Hold on 1 second. I think that's a good idea. that guy on the YouTube chat said, if it's not Kurt, I will reveal my name on here. I think you're in the minority.
Yes.
Here. I just
Am I really?
Ruth Chris does do Uber Eats, so yes, I'm good with this. I'm completely good with
this. There's a Ruth Chris closer to me. Okay. Ruth. Oh no. I'm at Bex Prime. Yeah, lunch. Let's do lunch.
So let me ask you. I told you why I think it is obviously, and I think even what the end of this episode clearly makes me think I know it's him. What is your argument that it's Olsen? I just want to hear the other side.
The way he acts, it's something about the way he acts. He's randomly showing up with the girl and stuff like that. I feel like he was gonna grab her had she not said the my friend and stuff like that. Now, the other thing, the only reason I don't think it's Kirk, to be honest, the biggest reason I don't think it's Kirk, I think Kirk's too obvious. That's the only reason I'm not thinking it's him. I think that's too much of an obvious answer for some reason, because his son was out hunting. They're doing all of this. I just feel like it's not him. The billionaire out hunting people. This is where it gets stupid and lazy, but Ice-T's, what is that? The greatest game or the deadliest game or whatever. In my head, I'm thinking that's what this is. He's such a rich asshole that's out there. He's multi-billionaire and stuff like that, that the only like thrill he can get is hunting a person. even though it's not even really a hunt because it's a innocent person, a woman running off into the woods, scared to shit without any kind of protection and stuff like that. It's a coward. But that's what I don't know. I think it's too obvious. That's my main thing. In all honesty,
see, I don't even think it has anything to do with the idea of whether or not it's obvious or not. I think it's like suspense for suspense sake. Like, I don't think it's supposed to be. I'm literally watching this scene right now, and if it's Olsen, I will say this, and this makes me sound like a very sore loser. If it's Olsen, the show filmed the scenes with Clancy Brown, and then they switched it.
You know what? I actually could see a show doing. Think about that. That's a genius thing.
So 2 things here. I'm watching the scene as we go right now. His hands, he has like meat claws. Okay. Second, there's a.
Jen's making it up. What are y'all gonna do if it's both of them?
I think we just make out.
To the lunch.
We make out. Oh, right, or that.
Bro kiss. They're getting close right here. Look.
I'm looking at, dude, this guy he's huge. He has huge hands. He's got those droopy eyelids. You know what? I'll if it's Olsen, then
I'm excited.
So be it.
I love that we don't agree. I actually love this.
I don't there's also the little Easter egg. I caught this and then Jen messaged me. Did you see what the books are that he had next to his laptop? They're all books that were written by They were all books that were written by Clyde Phillips.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think it'd be like it was in Easter. Like, yeah, if you look at the names on there, it says Clancy Brown did it. Like, it's...
I'm honestly surprised. I thought we were just in agreement and we were just gonna move forward. I think I'm trying to think of something.
This is my favorite part of this entire episode right now. I'm gonna let you know.
There was something. This is something that I was like, there's no one out there who actually thinks it's Olsen. And then like an hour later, I think it's Olsen.
You're gonna log off at the end of this episode. You're gonna log off. You're gonna be done. You're like, okay, that was a cool episode. You're gonna close. You're gonna be like, Marissa, you won't fucking believe this.
I gotta say, I think of what we know thus far. Speaking from my opinion here, because we have a disagreement in opinions, I think it's obviously Kurt Caldwell. To Jen's point, if they show it's Olsen, then I think there is a tag team thing going on.
I could see that. Now, to be fair, that hasn't fully gotten out of my head that they may somehow be connected. They haven't shown that. It's just that weird. It's like right back here, kind of like a little tingle, like maybe. But
and let's.
I don't want to get too much. I don't want to get too much into it to think that like again, it's Dexter. So
it's if I had to pick one reason why it's Kurt, the guy was husky, and Kurt is a big husky dude. And then
he is big.
If the Olsen is small, he was almost the same size of Audrey. If the defense would allow me to get 1 point in as I'm getting taken out of the courtroom, to get to the end of the episode, even though we have a lot more to discuss, I'm just bringing up the end. I think the reason why Matt's FaceTime. Wait, so then okay, you know what? Then let's go through this. What do you think about the ending where Kurt Caldwell gets a FaceTime call from his son?
That I haven't figured out yet. I'm actually legitimately wondering what is going. No. But why would he lie? Like, I'm actually kind of like on Dexter. Like, why would he lie? I don't think like him getting the call, like him killing the girl, like that has nothing to do with him being excited and stuff like that. I'm wondering if it's. This is literally okay. I'll tell you right now where my brain went. First thought, literally that popped out of my head at the ending. First thought is Dexter didn't kill his son. We are thinking he killed his son. That's not actually his son. He got a call from his real son. We're going to come to find out the friend that's like, oh no, that's Matt and stuff like that. The friend that had like the disfigurement, turns out that that's actually his son. That was literally my very first thought that came in my head. Okay. The one he was like, oh, well, I brought that girl to the party and stuff like that. Okay. Turns out that's actually Matt. That is my very first thought that came in my head. Why that's my thought, I have no idea. I can't back it up. That's just what happened. Second thought that came into my head, deep fake. So for whatever reason, somebody out there is fucking with them and they did a deep fake video. And it's going to come back because they're going to be like, look, it's Dexter deep fake. We hear about it all the time in the news and stuff like that. And on media now, like everybody hears about deep fake shit and stuff like that. So they have to work that into Dexter for that reason. So somebody did that. The second thing is the dude's just nuts. That's all that it is. He's just nuts. He's in denial. And for whatever reason, he's doing that. But that doesn't really tie in with a normal Dexter storyline.
So let me say a few things. I have been getting burned out reading Dexter stuff on Reddit and stuff. Like
this is why I'm staying off of this shit. I can't do it. You already see where my mind's going without Reddit. So
and then like literally before we started recording, I got into some fight with a guy on Reddit because he has the same theory about deep fakes. And
oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not the only one that in my head is kind of like thinking that. That's funny.
So I think, and I guess time will tell where this whole thing stands. And as someone who doesn't like to do prediction podcasts, here we are. What I think this season, what if I had to tie this all together and everything we're talking about, I think the same way Kurt shows up at the end of the second episode to continue the search, and the same way what I think that phone call is, he never received it. He's lying about it. The reason why he's so happy and jubilant is because just like Trinity, he just performed his cycle, his kill. And now that it's over, he's won, like, I got away with it. It all happened and everything, or more so, not that he got away with it.
But then again, to answer your question, that why lie?
Because now they can stop the search. The search was to throw off the scent. Because if you remember in the first episode, it's like, hey, there's a lot of girls missing. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. And you think that's what we're going to get right into that storyline. And all of a sudden, that whole thing took a backseat to the Matt thing. And that's why Kurt is getting ready to kill this girl. He has this whole thing. And he says, no, please keep on the search. They're so occupied with the Matt Caldwell stuff that they're not bothering looking at the missing girl. Finishes his kill. Then he says, you know what? I'm just going to say Matt called me. I'm going to be super happy. I know he's alive. It wasn't a phone call. It was a FaceTime. I saw it. No one knows he's lying except one person on Earth. And that happens to be the person who picks him up. Otherwise, no one could believe him. The defense rests its case.
I don't know. That to me is no different of a good explanation than what I'm saying with somebody fucking with him by doing a deep fake thing or something like that. I'm being honest. Like my opinion, at least, like how I'm looking at it.
Knowing how deep fakes work, I'd be really upset.
Okay, well, no.
Because deep fakes take...
As a gun person watching the show, I have not been upset. Okay.
But...
I can tell what gun it is by heat vision.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
If we get into deep fake territory, then why are we ever led to believe anything? Like, Trinity could start deep faking FaceTime. Like, I just think... See, here's what's funny. I just thought the show was shoehorning us into this. You're coming on this other side of, like, that, like, it is so out of left field to me. I thought the show was obviously Kurt's gone the whole episode, and they even say, Kurt, we've been trying to reach you all day, and he's been watching the girl in the room.
I feel like that's too obvious. That's it. It's too obvious. That's my. I did hear that, and I'm like, oh, I get it. They're gonna something about it. Then why not show who he is? If you're trying to be that obvious, then why not show?
Add suspense for suspense sake to make us do stuff like where we're doing right now. It's just like, oh, who could it be? Could it be this one? And to get people to win bets, because otherwise,
I'm not. They literally did this so Victor could get Chris Ruth.
So let me say this, and I will allow you to. I will allow you to take back. I will allow you to disavow everything you've said. When Clancy Brown got signed onto the show,
Mhm.
he was labeled as primary villain.
Yeah.
That doesn't change any of your idea?
No.
Okay.
No. It just, I'm being honest. No, it doesn't.
Shut up, cunt.
Nah, I'm not. I won't.
All right. We will
You can't tell me what to do, Daddy.
we will see how it folds out. I'm just surprised. You know how I feel right now? I see, that's being like really harsh, but I don't mean to be harsh. I feel like I just found out you were an anti-vaxxer. It's like, oh no. I'm doing this show with one of these guys. No. You know what?
Ressa, you're not going to believe this. Not only does nothing is Clancy, he doesn't believe in the vaccine. He talked about taking ivermectin and vitamin D. He said he's got a tattoo of Joe Rogan. It's crazy.
Oh God. So I am like that guy said. I'm
just saying those tests on those vaccines were not completed 100%.
I mean honestly, do we know we landed on the moon? So
oh my God.
I'm hashtag Team Kurt is a killer. You are
Mary-Kate Olsen.
You're
Mary-Kate
hashtag Mary-Kate Olsen.
I guess it would technically be their dad, but yeah.
I'll tell you what, it was so obvious to me that now it adds intrigue. And you ever are so sure of
oh my God.
You ever so sure of something?
I'm literally crying.
And someone says something so confidently the other way, it makes you question what you thought.
Oh yeah.
That's how I feel right now. I was like so sure about it, and like now I'm like, oh my God, maybe I'm not. But it's like I know I'm right. We discuss.
We'll see.
If
I'm actually no. I think this is fun. I'm like super excited about that. We have a difference of opinion on this. I think this is fun. I do. I think this is really fun.
Now I'm like gonna be nervous because if it's not him, I think the podcast is over because I can't show my face. All the shit I just talked.
I'm just telling you, man. Oh, I'm gonna get that pork chop from. It's gonna be so good.
And you know who's smart here? Jen. She's just like hashtag both of them. We'll talk about it. We'll get there eventually. I thought this was gonna be a 1, 2, 3, but here we are. Jim drops Harrison off at school, and we get the Deb scene where it's my background where she's like, what are you going to do with the body? You know, the dogs are going to find it. You got to find another way to dispose of your bodies. And like someone in the chat was saying, like Dexter's never went that insane. Like not sane, zany, like wacky. Like with this.
This is actually one of my favorite parts of this episode was the finding like kind of what to do and stuff like that. It like kind of got me like, oh, this is kind of fun.
And you know what it reminded me of that I saw in the chat? It's totally a 6 Feet Under moment. Just
it
like
is
how wacky it is. Yeah, and I was like, oh my! I was thinking that in the back of my head. I just didn't like. I would have never would have.
That's the second 6 Feet Under because my 6 Feet moment as well. And I was going to ask you. We'll get to it. We'll get to it in a minute. There's a 6 Feet Under moment where I was like, huh. After this, we can get to it. Yeah.
And then Jim says long term, and I get what he's saying in terms of like this body can't ever show up, but like kind of like the way Deb says it. And if you think this is Deb, a version of Dexter's mind talking to him, it's like I was gonna say, what do you mean long term? Like, are you gonna still be killing? You know?
See, that's what I actually wanted to comment on this on is. Do we think Dexter's other than whoever the killer is? So whenever it is that he kills Mary-Kate and Ashley's dad, other than that, is he going to kill anybody else? I don't think he will. Or unless it's like some stupid random thing. Because I don't think he has the urge to kill still. I don't think it's eating at him to do it.
I know we're a couple 100 miles away, but if you smell the air. I think I smell another bet because I definitely think he's killing again.
Okay. See, I'm not. No, no. I'm not doing a bet on this one. I'm not doing a bet on this one because I'm not 100% that he's not going to. Other than, like I said, whoever the main bad guy is at the end, obviously he's going to kill that person. But I was kind of thinking that earlier. I was like, he hasn't talked about needing to kill again. Is he going to do it again or not?
Mm-hmm.
But I could see like some weird unforeseen thing, like he has to break somebody's neck or stab somebody or something like that. So. It's Dexter, you never know, I guess.
So now I thought it was obviously somebody. Oh my God, everything just made sense. But okay, someone is embalming the girl. We think it's the girl who got killed because
6 feet under. It's Nathan.
No one had Nathan, huh? Nathan is still up for grabs if anyone in the chat.
What's his name? Richard. What's Nathan Senior? Richard. Oh my God. What's like a? Yeah, Nathaniel. Richard Jenkins. It's Richard Jenkins. Called it.
So you got to flex. Oh, your camera's
damn.
out. What happened?
Yeah. I'm turning it on. I'm turning it back on. Hold on.
Only. So you got to flex your knowledge earlier in the season regarding guns. Let me just.
I wanted to ask you about this.
Let me impress the chat here. That's a Pierce Duotronic embalming machine. I actually could send you a picture of one. I have them at somewhere, one of the places I work at. The embalming procedure's a little bit more invasive than what they show, and that's fine. Like I'm not gonna start fucking.
I was say they're just showing going in one side, out the other, right?
It's a lot more invasive, like literally inside of you than they have. I don't know why they have the drain bucket like that. I think it's more for the show. It's for the show sake, just glamorize it a little bit. I've never seen that done. I don't deny it's done that way.
That's what it's actually called. It's called a drain. It's called a drain bucket.
But that's usually a viscera bucket. That's where like organs go if someone's autopsied. I've never seen it used. Because then, like, what do you do with it? I was thinking if you don't have a good water filtration system, sometimes you would do that. I mean, and I guess maybe in a town like Iron Lake if stuff gets frozen. But I don't get why. Then what do you do with the blood? Because it eventually has to go in the water. But regardless, this whole thing led me to why is Kurt /Olsen /Jenkins /Nathan /Batista embalming the body? And how do you get who knows how to I guess this just opens up a whole other world to be fair, I don't think we have any answers to everything.
You think there's a trophy room? I bet you that's what it's going to be. There's a trophy room. Like, how like hunters, like the crazy ones that are out there that have like the heads on the walls and stuff like that.
Trophies.
Would that be? And I get that's not like an embalming practicality because embalming doesn't last forever. Embalming only lasts so long, right?
Embalming, there's a lot of factors that go into how long someone is preserved. I have no idea if they're doing it like trophies here. I'm assuming they're kept in the cold because that would make them last a lot longer. I don't know. Embalming doesn't, I've told this story a bunch of times. Someone got disinterred about 100 years ago when I was in embalming school. So, this was like 2004. So let's just say this picture was from, what's 100 years? 18? No, I guess it was about 80 years. And all the person had was mold on their face. Otherwise, the body was completely fine. Colton, about to sneeze. Bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, I'm very curious to see where this embalming thing lends to, and if I'm pretty sure it's the girl because it's her pajamas, but I would love to see. We had a preserving thing in season 5 of Dexter. We had the formalin, if you remember, and they were sort of putting girls in barrels with formalin, which is another form of formaldehyde, which is to preserve bodies.
Well, there was kind of with Rudy with the freezing and the draining of all the blood, right? Wasn't that kind of?
That was a little bit more. What do you call that? That was closer to taxidermy than what embalming is, because he would he would freeze them and then display them. you can't really do that with an embalmed body. I mean, you could do whatever the fuck you want, but I just don't think. I guess this is something that we'll be talking a lot as the season goes on, because I'm hoping they give some clarity for it.
It's got to be a factor. This is not the only time that this is going to be a situation that we're going to know about the embalming. They're not going to do it just this one time for no fucking reason, right?
And the only thing that had me weirded out was he wasn't wearing gloves. That was just like that's weird.
What is that in Gone in 60 Seconds, where the one guy's eating the sandwich? He's a mortician and he puts the sandwich.
I've always heard about
that.
Hello, welcome to the chat, Joby, Jobby. Thank you for coming. And we just had a comment in the chat from Jacob. Why does Angela irritate me? She doesn't bother me. Does she bother you?
No, I like her.
And what about Deb? Does Deb bother you?
No,
I saw some people complaining about Deb, and I love her this season.
I've always liked Deb's character. The whole brashness, the cursing got a little old to me at certain points. But I never disliked her character. But her character this season, this is my favorite version of her character ever. Easily my favorite version.
And you know what? To your point, part of it is too, she's like, this episode is like 51 minutes. If you take out the previews, it's probably like 46 minutes. I think she's like in this whole episode a total of like 90 seconds. And she's like in and out, and she's fucking crazy. And like we don't get all that much Deb. Back to Angela. For whatever reason, I enjoy the character Angela. I don't think she's whiny as previous girlfriends, and she doesn't necessarily need Dexter. She more like how do I say this?
She tolerates him.
That's describing my wife. I don't know what the word is. She like wants to work with Dexter. She doesn't need him. She doesn't want him. Dexter, I just feel like there's like a sympathetic. What's the word? Well, they like coexist well together.
Right, and I feel there's a good deeper part of her character that we still don't know about, because we keep hearing about the missing girl.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm excited about her character. Personally,
absolutely.
I'm excited to learn more about it.
We have the scene of Harrison at school, and earlier in the episode, we found out that these high school wrestling kids were basically catfishing this kid, Ethan. Harrison knows about it, tells Ethan, sends the wrestling kids a gif of him fucking a goat, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what the scene is. And then one of the kids comes over to sort of like, try to fight with Ethan, but Harrison just does like the Darth Vader force chokehold.
Yeah.
Just grabs his fucking neck.
This right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
He lets out a dark passenger voice.
So we are never not going to compare Harrison to Dexter, obviously, because he's his son. Oh, you just reminded me too. The whole theme of never mind. We're never gonna not compare, and we're never not gonna think Harrison has, like Dexter said, dark tendencies. And I guess this was like showing us a little flash of it. I just thought it was cool, and I think there's, we're gonna start unraveling Harrison a little more now that he's got like a little.
I'm a little more excited about Harrison by episode 3. I started out, you and me both, when they first said that he was going to be in this, we were like, come the fuck on. Like, this is not going to be good. I'm tilting towards, this is kind of fun. This is now turning a little more interesting.
I'm not sure if we talked about when Jim is in for questioning with Logan about Matt, and I feel like they just played this scene like Logan really thinks Dexter killed Matt, but he obviously doesn't know that for sure. I think we talked about that scene in American Psycho where they filmed the scene 3 ways. Patrick Bateman to know he's guilty. William Dafoe have no clue Patrick did it, and then William Dafoe act like he knows for sure he did it, and they just cut all the scenes together. I just feel like they filmed this with Logan being like, all right, you're going to play this scene like Dexter did it, and you're trying to catch him in a lie. Then afterwards, he's like, "Oh, all right. See, that was painless. All done." I wonder
Yeah, I
if
think
some
he
of that
suspects.
comes back.
I think he suspects. I kind of feel like he's not like Dokes, because Dokes was straight up, like you're a psychopath and stuff like that, but kind of more like Quinn first season, where Quinn was like, there's something not quite right with this guy.
Mhm.
But then Quinn ended up being this completely different character later on. But I kind of get that feeling a little bit. Like he kind of like is like there's something a little bit off, but he doesn't want to say anything because this is his boss's boyfriend, like yeah. I don't know.
So,
I'm curious to see.
so I had this in my notes, and this is so funny looking back on it now that Audrey and Harrison are out for a car ride. The car breaks down, and this is I literally have this in my notes here. This is how confident I was that it was Kurt. Olsen shows up, and the show is just trying to make us think it's Olsen and provide some I never finished my thought, but basically trying to make some doubt of who's who.
Mm-hmm.
This is your scene where you think it lends more towards Olsen than Kurt.
Yep.
So it's interesting. I saw it in the chat as we were talking, and I was talking with Jen this morning regarding, I didn't get the significance of what the bear is. I know you never watched Soprano. Well, let me go back. Dexter is trying to find different spots to hide hide the body he killed, Matt, and probably to do it again. So we go searching for this mine, or is it a cave? It's a cave.
It's a mine. No, it's a mine. It's a copper mine, or he says it's some kind of mineral or metal or something like that. It's a mine. It's a mine though.
So I was like, hey, that bear seemed to kind of come out of nowhere and doesn't necessarily have like...
Yeah, like how did it get over there? Like it's this giant hole.
So I immediately went to like, what's the symbolism here? Because it's not like Dexter has to fight the bear and everything. And then I realized that they did mention Goldilocks a few times in the episode, so maybe just kind of tie that theme together in something I can't notice right now. Then I also thought, because I saw it in the chat, and forgive me to whoever
I think that guy said something about the bear.
Well, no, someone said it's a callback to in season 1 of Dexter. I think the episode was called Crocodile, when Dexter is chasing Jeremy Downs, I believe the kid's name was, and he's going through the woods, and a fucking crocodile comes out of nowhere, and like Dexter falls in like mud, and he gets like mad at himself basically.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if that is somewhat of a callback to that. That guy taking credit for it, that he said that. I could see that. I just when that happened, I was like, this is random as a bear, and I'm sort of been like formulating my mind about what this whole thing was. We get the quick little reveal that Ethan has a bunch of drawings about some really disturbing shit of what he wants to do to Scott and Zach.
Yes.
I think this high school stuff is going to play out a little more, especially with Harrison and kind of what he's already started with these kids.
Yeah, because he didn't seem weirded out that he was doing these drawings, and he was more like kind of excited about it.
Harrison?
I don't know, like, yeah.
I think Harrison,
like
I think he played it like, ooh, this really excites me, but I think Harrison is pretty level-headed, and I think he knows this is a little disturbing. That's the way I take it. But despite the way he plays it on, I know in this scene he looks like he's like turned on by it.
Yeah, because I was like, wait, I was like, are they leading up? Like, what are they leading up to, right? Like, is this going to lead up to like a school event and stuff like that? I'm like, okay, in my head, we're on episode 3. There's 7 more episodes, so. There's definitely this has got to lead to more stuff with Ethan. Ethan, I think, is going to become I would think, a more prominent character, at least in the next couple of episodes.
And there's a scene where it's Angela, Audrey, Dexter, and Harrison. And I think just because we did the podcast so recently, it reminded me of the dinner scene at the end of season 8 where it's Vogel,
Yeah.
Zach, Dexter, Hannah.
Yeah, the red wine and everything. I
Yeah.
actually thought the same thing. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is, there's no one at the table is the same. Like, not even Dexter is the same. It was cool, and it was like cool Dexter realizing, like, man, who would have ever thought I came to Iron Lake as a fucking undercover fake my death guy, and now I have like this little family blooming,
Mm-hmm.
So the part of that dinner conversation is that Audrey wants to properly dispose of the deer, because early in the episode they got the deer from the butcher shop, bring it over, and I the way I assumed it is get it properly disposed of on Indian reservation land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on native land. Yeah.
Native land, and that's where Dexter gets the idea from. Oh, let's cremate Matt's body. This is my biggest problem, and it's because I thought this was going to be a big deal. How is Dexter going to get rid of the body that's underneath everyone's foot?
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out he has a local crematory free to the public. I know it's an incinerator.
I had that in my notes. I was like, what the fuck is this? The general public has access to this thing? What is this?
I wish I haven't seen any comments on it today, but I feel like in small towns they have ways to dispose of garbage through incineration. I don't know how you keep it afloat. I know what you're. If you're listening on the podcast,
I'm not from the north. I'm not from the north.
I never had it where I was.
I'm not from the north.
Yeah, no,
I'm from a small town. I'm from a small town in Texas.
It's too hot
Go
there.
ahead,
I
go ahead,
think,
I'm
to
sorry.
do it. I think it's too hot there to do it. I think it
I was
has to
gonna say,
be
we
in
have
those
the
cold
dump.
towns. Yeah, everywhere I know has a dump and all this.
I've never heard of an incinerator that the general public. That just seems unsafe.
It definitely seems unsafe. How do you keep this going year round? What's your filtration system like that you're just allowing this stuff in the air? Furthermore,
Yeah, because he's walking around at one point. He's like, "It's ash. It's ash falling on the dad and stuff like that."
So this is, I'm getting super nitpicky here. So fast forward like 2 minutes if you want.
Okay.
Ash doesn't come out of the chimney if he's being burned up. Even in a controlled environment, when a body is cremated, there is bones left behind. That's why after cremation, there are bones that have to be pounded and pulverized into what people call ash, which is actually cremated remains. If you've taken the journey with me through 6 Feet Under and now Dexter, you've heard me say this a million times. The closest comparison of cremated remains is crushed seashells. It is not ash. People say ash, you think of like cigarette ash, and if you touch it, it kind of dissolves in your hand. Cremated remains is literally pulverized and crushed bones. That's not ash. Furthermore, cremation is a controlled, I think it's like 1800 degrees for X amount of time. This is not how you dispose of a body, and how is it in the local town? The reason why it bothers me so much is because this was,
pushes the button.
I thought this was a legitimate problem Dexter had on his hands. How do I get rid of this body? And if in the end they just had this out of the local crematory,
the town burned a rock. I didn't think about it.
Yeah. It just makes me like, oh, okay. So we don't have like stakes attached to this. There's an out here. That's why it really bothered me.
It'd be even better to throw him to the bear. At least the bear would eat it.
You know what? That's probably
that's
the best. That's the best thing I've heard all. Yeah. Let it. Yeah.
Let the bear go in there, and then they find pieces of the body, and they're like, "Shit, he got hit by a bear." It happens.
I was just a little surprised at it, but if I want to enjoy this show, and I do, and I am, I'm just gonna let stuff like that happen. I'm just never gonna get too invested in if Dexter is in a corner. He has a floor escape plan because something will just pop up to let him go out.
Jen's making a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
in the chat. Somebody's gonna find Matt's hardware from his surgically repaired leg. I forgot about that. That's actually a really good point, Jen.
It's a good point, and there's a lot of little stuff like that. But when you have stuff like that, like what Jen's saying is like an awesome clue that on other shows I think would come back in like episode 8 and been like, oh yeah. Problem with this, the way the Dexter show runs, and it's kind of my largest problem with it over the 8 seasons, is like you have a scene where you had heat-seeking cameras, and then 2 scenes later, Dexter's running around the forest dragging the vest. You know what I mean? So it's
Fair
like,
enough.
so there's just
Fair
like,
enough.
there's some areas, like Jen's completely right. That because they showed that leg a few times. So you would think
They
that's
made a very big. They made
Yes.
a very big point that he had a surgically repaired
So
leg.
you think
Yes.
that would come back. It's just, I don't know if it's going to, because we just had heat-seeking cameras and it didn't matter. Dexter had to get rid of a
This is not
body,
Breaking
and he just went to the local crematory that's free to the public. You know,
the local burnorama.
you have your public parks, you have your swings, you have your water fountains, and you have your crematories. I mean, this is America.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was America. I thought I could burn bodies in here. Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't afford the Richie, the funeral director, taking my money. So I'm sorry. I thought I could throw them in here. Funeral people just have to get my money.
That's me. And our episode ends with what I thought we were on the same page, of Kurt Caldwell. At the very least, we know it is not Matt who FaceTimed his father. Whether it was a deep fake, you have it as a deep fake, or you don't know.
No, I don't. No. I'd say that's like a. If I'm gonna go with anything, I think he's legitimately just there's something wrong with him, and I think that's gonna come out later on. I think deepfake is like a 10% possibility.
I think
it's more he's just off. I think there's something really off.
To
that's
your
gonna come
point / credit, a clearly drunk man is not the best source here, so we don't know.
Right.
I think he's
obviously very drunk.
Right. I think he got drunk because he figured out how to end this case, and he's happy that he got done with this kill and whatnot. But I guess that's what
I don't think that's him yet.
Remaining 7 episodes. And I gotta say, we got someone in the chat who's just jumped in. I believe his name is Jacob. I go back and forth between Kurt and Olsen at least 5 times an episode. I can't decide which one is the killer. I think this. I'm still shocked at it. I guess we'll see, because now, what a punch in the gut.
I mean, we are. It is episode 3.
Yeah,
it is episode 3. Very good point. We both could easily next episode. There could be something else that happens that doesn't fully show who the killer is, and I could straight up just be like, "Oh, dude, I'm wrong. It's not him. You're 100% right."
I told you it was Batista. Anything? Anything else?
LaGuardia. I'm telling you, it's LaGuardia. She's not dead. We never actually saw the body.
Anything here else on this episode? Actually, there's one thing I did want to bring up, and I had this email saved all week for this particular moment. We got a comment on our YouTube video of the first episode we did. It was actually kind of funny, but this is an old conversation we had regarding to the deer in episode 1, who's now being cremated in episode 3. Erica Melzer commented, "The deer is essentially edging. He's getting the thrill of the hunt, getting his heart rate up, and then not killing. He's practicing the skill of not pulling that trigger." That's something interesting I had not heard of all of the theories and everything of what the deer represents. We kind of had it as this.
I like that.
We had it as like his sobriety. But I like that as like testing his sobriety. I guess it's the same thing, just another side of the coin.
Yeah.
I thought that was worthy of bringing up.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I like that.
Otherwise, I don't have anything else to add to the episode. I know next episode is H is for Heroes. I had a spoiler on what episode 5 has to deal with, but I won't bring that up here. that's all I have for this episode. Anything else from you, Colton?
Nope.
All right. Well, everyone in the chat, everyone listening, hope you have a great Thanksgiving. We will be back next week to discuss episode 4, H is for Heroes. Later, y'all.
Later.
Stop recording on Audacity, and then when you can, send that over. Jacob, thank you for joining us. Been cool. He's been listening for a long time. Very cool. Jacob, if you're still listening, if you had to bet money, who do you think it was, Olsen or Kurt? Because I think you joined us a little late. We have a very big bet on the line.
Pickle.
I think it's Kurt.
We are in a pickle here.
I think it's Kurt. Colton think it's Olsen, and we're betting that actually I have to give up my right kidney if it's Olsen. Colton has to die if it's Kurt. So, Kurt.
No, it was giving up my house that my wife's the signer on.
Yeah. So he thinks it's Kurt.
Okay.
That guy, finding out that people aren't sure if Kurt is the killer, threw me in a loop that I'm still recovering from. Yeah, man, I'm still floored by this. Like, it's gonna take me a few days. I just thought
I'm gonna laugh though if it's all of this. I'm gonna be like, "Oh, y'all motherfuckers out here!"
Listen. If it's Olsen, you have every right to come in here and swing that 2-inch dick around this chat because you deserve it.
Swinging it. Oh my god. What was the name of this episode again? Fuck. Oh my god. Smoke
it's
signals.
Kurt. Oh yeah, smoke signals.
It's Kurt. Colton smoke signals. Converting to MP3 now.
Something we didn't talk about. I like that there was less voiceover in this episode.
I like there was less voiceover in the little bits that they did have it. It mattered.
Yeah. There was like
the
there
hunting,
was like two,
the hunting license. It was like we can get the hunting license, which my name won't be on. It's like, oh, okay, like that's where voiceover works.
Right. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I'm saving my part 2. I am not sure if my part 1. I have no idea what happened with my computer. Just completely glitched out.
Oh, that's weird.
The actual killer, they based this show's killer after used a helicopter with his victims, perhaps pointing to Olsen. Oh, remember we were talking about that Alaska killer? That's a great point.
He used a not a helicopter. He used a airplane, a Cessna, I believe.
That's a great point.
But yeah, an aircraft. Yeah.
The way he. Oh man, you know what I meant to talk about? Fuck, I got so caught up that it was not that you didn't think it was Olsen that my entire fucking equilibrium changed. How did that girl get there? Because that clearly, when she leaves the room, it doesn't look like a hotel.
She got there by helicopter.
But when she walked into the room, like where did she think she was? Because she's like drinking champagne and eating strawberries.
Dude, that's what I'm telling you. I didn't understand that whole thing. Like, we could literally have a whole episode just based on my confusion on that, because I'm like, you're in this room that you don't recognize and you see a bottle of champagne and some strawberries and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna eat and drink this shit. Really? Like, what life choices have you made that seems like a normal like answer to this? I don't know. I wish they had shown more of that, because like, did she think that? And maybe it'll come back. Is that room literally designed to look just like the same room at like the local Motel 6 off of I-35 or wherever they're off of? And that's why she thought she was in there. And she thought, oh, I met this guy at the bar. He was really nice. His name's Olsen. And he said he's rich. He's going to buy me some champagne. And I woke up and I see it. You know, maybe, but I don't know. That seemed like really bad writing.
A lot. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just a lot of unanswered questions. We just don't know. But it's just when she ran out, I was just like, oh, that just looks like a hallway into a dungeon. But we'll how did she get there? How did she get champagne? How did she get strawberries? How did Kurt get that to her? I guess that's all stuff we'll find out.
That's why it makes sense that it's going to be Olsen. He flew it in. Oh, he must have flown in this expensive ass champagne on his fancy helicopter with his Green Beret, who's also been picking up people all across the country to fly them out here so they can murder them. Yeah, makes sense.
I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be a big blow to my ego if it's Olsen. Like I don't know how I'm gonna recover because I was so sure it's Kurt. God,
get ready.
Is that thing saving? Okay.
Yeah, or mine's saving right now.
And you're gonna email it like you did last week. I think it's like a link, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just send that ASAP because I'm gonna do it now. So you know what's so weird about our little hiccup is my audio is still processing from the 13 minutes. I can't. I
really?
think I have to refresh our Zencaster, but once I do that, everything's going to drop. So I'll do it in a minute when we sign off here. If it's Olsen, I'll make a Reddit post that it's just Kurt wearing a costume, wearing an Olsen costume. Dude, I'll tell you what, you have big stuff on the line. If it's Olsen, that guy has to reveal his name.
Yeah.
I'm more excited about that. God, that's funny.
You're like, God, I hope it's him. Oh, I hope it's him now.
And I said in the chat, his first name's probably that, and the last name is Guy. Oh wow, I got your email already. Oh no, look at you.
Yeah, I just sent it over.
Oh.
Yeah, I went a lot quicker this time.
Cool. All right, let me get to editing. Everybody in the chat, that guy, Roxanne, Jacob, Jen, Lonesome Ghost. So Lonesome Ghost, let me bring this up real quick. Lonesome Ghost had a theory, and I think we're a little bit too early in the season to do this, but gotta have this theory that this whole thing is in Dexter's head. And he's really like, I don't know, I guess in like season 8 headspace. That's why he's getting all these little callbacks, like the bear, whatever else other. I think I need more information.
I'm gonna need more on that. I feel like that's really deep for Dexter to be doing that. I will not 100% say it's not, but yeah, I'm gonna need more on that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I think I need more time. That would be wild if Dexter decides to pull that, because that's just not.
That's not the normal. No, that would be. And if they did that and they did it right, then this would be amazing. But yeah.
I think that's the thing, doing it right. It's like the Sopranos ending. That sounds awesome, but if you don't pull it off right. Everyone in the chat, happy Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. Be thankful for something out there. Like, that's my biggest thing about Thanksgiving. Be thankful for something out there. Enjoy what you have. Everybody has something to be thankful for.
Even if it's a free lunch coming your way. Everybody, thank you. Thank you.
Perry Steakhouse with that pork chop.
Thank you, Roxanne. And we'll be back here a week from Sunday. Kicking off Christmas. No, we're still November 28th, but everyone knows Thanksgiving. Christmas starts the day after Thanksgiving.
Will we be recording through Christmas? We will, won't we? Wait,
so I'm surprised, because I think, isn't Christmas on a Sunday? Oh, no, the day after Christmas. So the 26th of December is a Sunday, and January 2nd is a Sunday.
Okay, so we just have episode 3, which was today. 3, 4, 5.
I'm going to end the stream,
7,
but keep talking.
8,
Later, guys.
9, 10. Later. We're going to go through January 9th.